I had to just film a non-spoiler review. I mean, what am I meant to do? No! Oh God, she's dead again. What a fucking film. I have never felt... You could have heard a fucking pin drop in my theatre that day. Like, it was... I've literally just got back out. The movie finished about 1:30, 1:15, because we had to sit through the credits, but... You could have heard a fucking pin drop with how silent it was. It was just like... Is this really happening? I just couldn't believe it. So we're going to go through each different story. We're going to start off with Thor. Thor was the story that resonated with me the least. I mean, don't get me wrong, the beginning, the opening bit with the sound of this is the Asgardian ship, we are seeking help, you know. Thanos had wiped out half of the Asgardians, as it's stated in the movie. I don't know where the other half went. I guess he could cut the ship in half, because it only looked like there was half there. Heimdall paid the price, Loki paid the price, but he did get an amazing, great line where he goes, "We have a Hulk," which was what Tony said to him in the first Avengers film. Absolutely brilliant, but it's terribly sad death. I have never felt... It was such a moment where you were just like... Everyone in the theatre was like, holy shit. There were kids there, and you could see parents being like, we probably shouldn't have brought our kids to this. It was just fucking... Oh. Then he met the Guardians, which was so cool, Thor. We're going to come to Thanos later, because I have a lot to say about Thanos. Then he came to the Guardians and Thor, and Mantis and Drax were as amazing as usual. Gamora, we'll talk about Gamora and Thanos later. They are. There's three I want to talk about: Scarlet Witch, Gamora, and Thanos. Of course, it's going to be Scarlet Witch, but yeah, so Thor met the Guardians. That was fun and everything. Rocket and Groot went off with them, and then they went to meet Tyrion Lannister, who told them to hold the door. The start of the story, while I get it, it was necessary to make the weapon and everything, it just didn't capture me very much, and I feel like we could have done with maybe 1 or 2 scenes focused on maybe the Avengers on Earth rather than in the Starforge, but whatever, it is what it is. It's only one of my few gripes about this movie. It's not a perfect movie, it has its flaws, like any film, apart from Inside Out, which is just fucking phenomenal from start to finish. Anyway, so Thor's dream was cool. He got to, you know, the big battle at the end. It was cool. He did the thing with Thanos, but he fucked up because he couldn't hit the head. But we'll come to that with Thanos later. That was Thor's story. That was probably the least interesting story for me. Next up, the Guardians go to nowhere to try and find the collector. Drax, Quill, and Gamora got it on. I went to the toilet, so I came back and they were like just like that. It was coming away. I was like, oh my god, did they kiss? My friend was like, yeah. I was like, cool, I missed that. So I get to have to go and rewatch that because I have the bladder of a small child. But that was pretty darn cool. I loved the whole interactions between... We're gonna come to... I've got to talk about Gamora and Thanos later because I did not expect that to hit me as hard as it fucking hit me. But whatever. Because I want to make it perfectly clear. I knew about that. I knew that happened at the end. I was spoiled. I saw the kill list for that, and yeah. But the Gamora and Thanos scene, fuck me. But we will get to that later. I cannot believe, and I'm also walking away going, how is that, when there's a movie with Scarlet Witch in it, how is that the scene that made me feel, oh my fucking god. Like, yeah, but anyway. So yeah, the Guardians go there. I legit thought Drax and Mantis were dead when he turned Drax into like clay and Mantis into like spaghetti, but they pulled themselves back together. Such a bad pun. We also saw Quill actually stepping up and shooting Gamora. Like, he was gonna kill her. He was gonna do it for her. He was gonna, because obviously Thanos had captured her. And I thought that Gamora got him when she stabbed Thanos. I thought, wow, she's actually got him, but it was just an illusion, and she broke her swords, so she couldn't get him again, annoyingly. But anyway, yeah, Quill shot and then bubbles came out the gun. It was like, oh, he's like, and you realise then that Thanos wasn't going to let his daughter die, and I was like, whoa, he actually cares. But then we learned that it was about the Soul Stone. But then we learned something else, which showed that it wasn't actually about the Soul Stone. It's coming up. So anyway, then Peter, Quill, Mantis, and Drax went off to meet the Tony Stark and Iron Man, and we'll come to that in a little bit. But that was a good scene. I liked it when he was like everyone holding, they all walked past him. Also, what the fuck was Mantis doing all the time with like the fingers, like finger guns? She was like, she did it to Thor, she did it to Thanos. I'm like, girl, calm down. You're not gonna be able to like pew pew pew. But yeah, that was hugely entertaining. Oh, I should also state that Groot and the Axe was fucking legendary, and I love Groot, and I miss old Groot so much, but I like new Groot too. And yes, it has been confirmed they are two different people. So calm down, James Gunn confirmed it. They're not the same Groot. Groot died in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. But anyway, this is Groot's son. Anyway. My third favourite story out of the 5 sort of intertwining storylines was definitely Tony, Peter, and Doctor Strange and Banner at the start. May I just say, I have never felt a sense of dread so much as when Tony's about to ring Cap, and then you notice the air change, and you can feel it in the cinema. Everyone, every single fucking, even the fucking kids, shut the fuck up, because it just changed. And then you sort of looked out, and you saw people running by, like screaming and everything, and I just got this utter sense of fucking dread. It was like my spider senses were going off. It was so weird. No, there, I'm sorry. It was so. Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. Please stop falling down. I'm sorry. It's gonna fall. It's okay. There was such a sense of dread, and I know I would have cried at this movie if I hadn't been spoiled about the ending. But still, there was a moment where I was about to go. Yeah, and that scene was just, it was crazy. And then they obviously go to space. They meet up with Peter. I loved it when he says, "You see that really old movie Aliens?" I was expecting Tony to like glare or something. We didn't get it, but I imagine he did it anyway. He's like, "I hate you, kid," and they blow a hole in the thing, and they manage to save Doctor Strange. The banter between Doctor Strange and Tony Stark is the greatest thing. It was just so good. And Pepper ringing him, telling him she needed him to come home. That was so beautiful as well. They went to Titan. They met up with the Guardians after quite an hilarious time where they were like, "You know Thor, we know Thor, we." Yeah. Yeah, and Quill's session with Thor was brilliant. That was brilliant, and I loved the fight scene and it was, they would have got the gauntlet off him, and they could have got it away from him. They could have BFR'd it somewhere. Strange could have like teleported it into a black hole or something. But no, of course not. Peter Quill, with his emotions, although I think we're all having emotions, he almost got it off, and they just slid it off, and he grabbed it. And I was so sorry for Mantis, because she held on, and she held on, and she's like, he's feeling immense loss, anguish. And Nebula realised it was Gamora, and yeah, and so they had a big fight. Doctor Strange, MVP of that fight though, he turned his beam into butterflies, he threw that big like weird reality thing at him, he stopped the black hole thing. It was very cool until of course, when he multiplied into all them things and like gripped him, but it just wasn't enough to hold him back, and he got his ass kicked as well, and they all got their, I swear to God I thought Tony was about to die then when he stabbed him. I was like, oh no please, but he didn't. Doctor Strange gave him the time stone, which was such a cool thing where you just saw it panning to the stars, and you were like, and I went, hang on a minute, and then he actually made it look like a star. That was so fucking cool. Like he put it in like a tiny little piece of, like, I don't know, he must have like used some kind of weird reality or warping magic to hide it. It was very cool. The Sorcerer Supreme after all. My second favourite story, with my first favourite character of course, was the Avengers on Earth storyline. We start off with Scarlet Witch and Vision on Earth, and may I just say, Scarlet Witch and Vision would have kicked their asses if Vision hadn't been surprise attacked, because Scarlet Witch spent half the battle trying to look after him because he kept getting his ass whooped. The flying scenes with Scarlet Witch were fucking awesome, like when she took him off, when she threw Corvus through the church, and then she pulled Vision to it, and they flew off towards the train station, and they'd have landed it as well if bloody Proxima hadn't shot her out the sky. Then we come to, obviously, Cap, Widow, and Falcon. What an entrance, especially from Widow, who takes down Corvus Glaive single-handedly. That was fucking impressive. She's definitely going up the roster on Comic Man battles. I love Comic Man battles. Anyway, so yeah. You saw that big fighting, like she slices him and she stabs him, and it was pretty cool. Wanda held her own, may I say. Wanda was doing fucking well, and Wanda gets some pretty awesome feats later on, especially one incredible feat. Then, right guys, then you see they go to the Avengers. I didn't know whatever I was going to say Everett Ross. Yeah, Everett Ross isn't it? It was Everett Ross, wasn't it? Yeah, well, which one's Everett Ross? I always get confused between Martin Freeman character and the other one. I think it is Everett Ross, isn't it? No, Everett Ross is the other one. Damn it. What's that general's name? Oh well, doesn't matter. You know, Secretary of State guy. I forget. He was in the Hulk. And Captain America Civil War. Anyway, so they see him and like, we're going to arrest you. And I'm like, yeah, piss off. And War Machine's like, yeah, piss off. They all come together, and Bruce and Nat had the tiniest of reunions. There was a longer reunion in the trailer than there was in the movie, may I just say, and I wanted a better reunion from that. I feel like some bits got cut out, like that bit, and I feel like that could have just done with being in, like you get the sense that I like that Bruce enjoyed being in the Hulkbuster. It was a lot of fun, but we never actually saw Hulk on the battlefield. Hulk was only in the very beginning. And he got his ass whooped, so he wouldn't come out again. And also the scene with Bruce on fucking Earth when he's fighting Corvus, and Bruce was just everywhere. He's like, I can't get it. It was so funny. And he's like, fine, I'll do it myself at the area, and he just like punches fucking Cull Obsidian straight into the fucking force field and makes it explode like a bamf. So yeah, he gets killed. Proxima Midnight, well, then the Battle of Wakanda, sorry, and everyone's fighting, and like, Widow and Okoye take on Proxima Midnight. That's pretty damn cool. After she attacks Wanda. After Wanda, right? Wanda flies from Wakanda, lands on the battlefield to save Widow and Okoye from the big spinning blades of death, and then just fucking uses telekinesis, picks the whole fucking thing up and throws it at every other fucker. It was like, that is a telekinesis feat if I've ever seen one. It just sliced through so many people. and then one of them comes back, because obviously they must still be operating. She only picked them up and threw them at others to get them out of the way. And one of them comes back, just as Proxima's beat Widow and Okoye, and one just sort of stands up and she's on her knees and she goes like that, and she throws her up, and Nat just gets covered in the fucking blood of her, where she gets ripped apart by the spinning things. It was so fucking funny. And Nat's like, well, that was gross. We had Bucky back, that was cool. He didn't really do much, bless him, but he got a new arm, and they were getting slaughtered by those fucking Outriders. They were crazy minions. And then we get to the end sequence where Thanos arrives. Thor's arrival was fucking badass. That was a pretty cool scene. Rocket and fucking Bart, so a Winter Soldier just like, he's just holding the fucking thing. And Rocket goes, how much for the gun? He goes, it's not for sale. How much for the arm? And Bucky just walks away and goes, I'm gonna get that arm. I love him so much. And Thor got a new eye, of course. But anyway, then the final sequence where obviously Wanda's trying to, you know, talk to Vision as they've killed Corvus, they've killed everyone. Steve gets there, and then they're all sort of like, they're ready to fight, they're ready to battle. And then like they're fighting, and Steve runs at Thanos. He gets a few shots in, but nothing really works, and he manages to catch the gauntlet, but then Thanos just punches him out with the other hand. Widow, bless her, she ran at Thanos as if she were going to do something, and then these rocks just came over, tripped her up, and just like pinned her to the floor. It was like, oh, bless her, she didn't even get to try. Okoye got knocked the fuck out, Black Panther got knocked the fuck out. Who else got knocked the fuck out? I think everyone got knocked the fuck out until he came down to Thanos and Wanda and Vision. And Wanda, because she's just uber powerful at this point, fires a beam at Vision, who, at the very beginning of the movie, Wanda says to Vision, Vision asks her, what do you feel? And she goes, I just feel you. And then as Wanda goes to destroy the Mind Stone, he goes, I just feel you. And I was like, then he says, I love her. I was like, ah! Anyway, so Wanda fires a beam at Vision, then turns back and fires a beam at Thanos. And Thanos has to work for that. Thanos has to work for it. He has to push through. He has 5 Infinity Stones at this point, and he's having to work for it. That is how fucking motherfucking powerful Wanda Maximoff is, may I just say. And you gotta think, she was splitting her power between destroying the stone and holding back Thanos. And she held him back for a good 20 seconds. I was counting it in my head, to be honest. And I was like, how long is she holding back? This is pretty impressive. And he's like pushing forward. And then when she finally destroys it and it all explodes, she falls to her knees, and he says to her, I understand that. We're going to come about white that in a minute. But then he brings Vision back with a time stone. Wanda screams no. Wanda gets knocked the fuck out because obviously this guy's like just knocked Steve Rogers out wondering and be able to do shit if she can't use her powers. And I imagine she was drained from doing that incredible feat. And then he just like rips it from Vision's head, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Puts it in the main thing, and you can see he's about to click fingers, and Thor's like, no, motherfucker. He lands, he stabs, but he made the fatal mistake, and Thanos goes. And I have never heard a cinema so fucking quiet than when someone went. It was like someone just went like that, and every single person just shut the fuck up till the credits. So anyway, yeah, and he sees Gamora again, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. And then people just start venturing, and then Wanda went, and I was like, I knew it was coming, but I was not ready for it. I was like, no, and they all just started fading. Black Panther went. Obviously, back then Peter's death was so sad. Like he was holding Mr. Stark and Tony like held him on the floor, and he's like, I don't want to go. And you're like, no, don't say that. That was 10th Doctor's last line. I don't need to hear that again. It was so sad, but the one fucking storyline was Thanos and Gamora, like that. I've never realised how much he loved her until I think it's a scene when they're on the top of the mountain with Red Skull. Red Skull just shows the fuck up out of nowhere. I don't think he was played by Hugo Weaving. Sorry, Hugh Grant. Hugo Weaving. But you know, they walked up the stairs, and it was just like, you have to give up the thing you love the most. And Gamora was laughing because she was like, he doesn't love anything. And it turns out the only thing Thanos loves in the universe was Gamora. And I was like, holy shit, he started crying. I was close to crying because I felt really bad for him. I felt really bad for Gamora as well, because Gamora spun around and tried to stab herself to kill herself. Didn't fucking work, because obviously, you know, he turned it into bubbles with the reality stone. And it was just like, and she couldn't kill herself, and it was just like, holy fuck, how, you know? So anyway, he gets to the top of this, and he just sort of turns around, and she's like fighting him, and he's crying. Thanos is crying at this point, and you're feeling like, oh no, Gamora, but also, oh no, poor Thanos. That was literally a thought that went through my head. I was like, no, not poor Thanos. But you couldn't help but sympathise with both these characters. They went on such a journey, this movie. And as Gamora's falling and she's screaming, you can just see Thanos is just heartbroken that he had to do that. But he truly believes that he's doing it for the good of the universe, which is so fucking wrong and messed up. But that is what he believes, and it's crazy. And so anyway, Gamora like plummets to her death. Thanos just breaks down. And then awakes in a pool holding the stone, and obviously he goes on to do what he does, and he fights and he clicks his fingers, he wipes out half the universe. But then there's that scene where a young Gamora is in that weird place with the water. I think it's probably the Soul Stone again place. Just before he teleports to the place where he smiles at the end, and she turns around and she says to him, "What did it cost you?" And he says everything. And you just know he's talking about Gamora and only Gamora. And I think that was such a beautiful line, that the weirdest thing, Scarlet Witch is my favourite character, but Thanos was the MVP of this movie. Like, seriously. Like, I understood and sympathised with him. I don't think it was right what he did, but I understood it. And for me, that's just a brilliant villain all around. And I can't wait to see what Avengers 4 has in store for him. The post-credit scenes was awesome as well. Nice to see Maria Hill and Nick Fury back for that. Although they're both dead now. But Captain Marvel is not dead, and she's coming to wreck some shit. I'm very excited. I wonder what happened to her, why she hasn't been part of Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I wonder if she's got a life, or if she's got a family, or if she just isn't up for it anymore. I don't know. I'm excited to find out. Thank you very much for watching. I love you all. This has been my Avengers Infinity War spoiler review. It was phenomenal. A phenomenal movie. I give it a 9 out of 10 easily. and I don't give 9 out of 10s very easily at all. I would say I'm going to go watch it probably again next weekend, hopefully. Maybe with my dad this time, he wants to see it, so I'll probably take him as well. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. This has been my Avengers Infinity War spoiler review. You've been awesome, and I have been Joshua Boy.